What's going on? Back again for another Just For You. Once again, to everyone who likes, shares the video, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Really, from the bottom of my heart, I do. Questions, comments, concerns, please leave them, drop them down below. And yeah, moving right into it. There's this thing in life called pressure. It takes a lot of forms, hits you a lot of different ways, causes a lot of, you know, ripples. After a lot of different after effects can come from pressure. Pressure's tough. You got pressure in relationships. You got pressure at your job, or if you have your own business to be successful at that. Most of us put pressure on ourselves. We have our own things going on. You got the pressure of the world, stuff like that. Maybe family issues, not maybe personally with you, but I have a sick grandma or a sick cousin or something. We all got pressure. Very few of us live in a world with really no pressure. I would love to be in that tax bracket to have no economic pressure. Most of my pressure is economic. I would love to be in a tax bracket to have no economic pressure. That would be amazing. Like I say, the more money you get, the more problems you have. Not saying I don't agree, but I don't know. I feel like I would rather have rich people problems than poor people problems. Just throwing it out there. Maybe because I'm not rich, but the grass does look greener on that other side a lot of times. But a lot of time, man, that pressure usually is either gonna make or break you. Pressure busts pipes. Pressure makes diamonds. No matter how you can look at it one of two ways. If you're under pressure, you're either gonna come out as a diamond or you're gonna come out as a cracked pipe. There's really no two options when you're under pressure. Now, I personally like pressure because pressure almost gives me a deadline. I'm very good at having to have a deadline or something like that, or, stuff like that. I don't always give myself them, but if I have one and a goal like this has to be done by this much time, I might wait till the last minute to get it done and jump on it and then just dive into it. But I kind of put that extra pressure on myself, so I focus 100% of my energy, 110% in this to get it done and get it done right. I've always done that. I was not the kid who had to write a paper and had 3 months to write the paper and wrote it the first 2 weeks. I was a kid who wrote it the last 2 days, and rewrote it like 7 times in like 3 days. That's me. I was that student. Not really a good thing, but you know, but not many people deal with pressure well. A lot of people do not deal with pressure well, and pressure's gonna come. So you better learn how to deal with pressure. And usually, when I look at pressure, I usually look at it like a challenge, and I don't do challenges. I generally always accept a challenge. It's tough for me to turn down a challenge. Now you can say, man, you're not good at that, and I might be like, yes, I am, and be like, no, I'm not. That's your opinion. I don't really care. But if we make a bet and it's like, look, Ryan, I bet you $100 you can't do this, and I know I can, or I think I can do it, I'm probably gonna take that bet. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm not losing this $100. I'll put that type of pressure on me to get it done. And in that instance, if you can do that, great, because you kind of turn that pressure into fuel and you focus it. Apparently, that's a skill that people don't have. I didn't really know that. I thought everybody could do that. But I also made a mistake of, thinking very naive in a lot of ways that, hey, most people who like me think like me, which is not the case. Yeah, but apparently that's a skill to be able to focus that pressure into positive energy to accomplish stuff. A lot of us feel pressure and we panic. Maybe that's the key. I'm not a panicker. Maybe it should have been about panicking instead of pressure. But I don't panic. I just get the pressure. Okay, this has to be done. Where do we got to go? Nothing else really matters. How you feel? We'll talk about that later. We got to get this done first. And that's just kind of how my mind is. Most people, I see a lot of people, they get under a little pressure and they panic and they crack. I mean, you're always going to come back together at some point in time. I'd say time heals all wounds. It might take you a couple days, it might take you a couple years, but at some point in time, it may be on your deathbed, but at some point in time, you'll get over it. Personally, and what I would like to help people with is the idea is to get over it as quickly and efficiently as possible. Not just quickly, but quickly and efficiently. Because you can get over stuff fast, but you didn't really get over it. That means, well, actually, that means you didn't get over it. You just lied to yourself. But you got to be able to take that pressure. And pressure is going to hit you. So honestly, stop making pressure for yourself. Because the world is going to hit you with enough pressure on its own. Like, my sister made a comment to me last night. She goes, I don't know how it happens, Ryan, but you have a knack for being on a roll and then the world just hits you with an uppercut that turns your world. It just literally derails the whole process. Like yeah, I do. I told my wife one day, she was kind of mad at me because she was like, stop talking down about yourself. I was like, I don't think it's talking down. But I was like, I don't know. I don't think I'm destined to be great. I don't think I'm destined to be a great, successful person. I think I'm destined to go through the struggle to help other people realize how to be great and successful and to be a good example on what kind of not to do. That may be a complete and total utter fabrication lie. But I don't know. Nobody knows their future. But I do know when I'm under a lot of pressure, and it varies under my sources. A lot of bad things happen when I don't handle it right. I got pressure at work. I come home. I'm not really a good person to be around. And this isn't at my, my current job and everything where I was at, but before that, I used to sell cars for a while. Great job, loved it, loved the guys there, nothing bad about it and anything like that. It just wasn't the type of system for me. It just wasn't. And I put way too much pressure on myself to try to make it the system for me. And it's a system that's already set up. So either I have to fit that system. I can't make that system fit me. So it's a system type of setup. Like if you can't sit still, you probably have trouble working at a call center. It's a system. You don't fit that system. And I just really wasn't a good fit for that system. And I tried to force it. And yeah, I had my good days, I had my bad days, I had my pretty good months. I didn't do horrible, but I didn't do great. But my personal life was trash. Like, I basically felt like an on-call person. Like, Ryan, you doing anything? Nope, not doing anything. Why? Because I might get a phone call, I gotta go sell something. So everything in my life revolved around selling a car. And that led to a lot of personal pressure because now I have all this personal pressure on me and I got to hit these certain numbers, got to hit this certain money because without that, I got to spend time, but I can't spend time here because I'm at work 12, 14 hours a day. Average, I usually went to work 6 days a week for a lot of times. And like, I never was at home when I am home. It was just bad. It was just a bad personal situation. And the longer that went on, the worse it got, until that pressure boiled into relationship pressure because now I'm not doing right in my relationship, which boils over into the family situation. Now there's family pressure, so that pressure is now kicking, and it was overwhelming for a hot minute. And stress level was just through the roof. So, and I was kind of lying to myself. Yeah, Ryan, you're handling your pressure right. And I knew I was lying to myself because I kind of very loyal person. But I knew I was lying to myself about it. And in one day, it was like I was actually having probably one of my best months I had last year. And I was like, you know what? And like the pressure just lifted. I was like, you know what? Yeah, you're done. They have no idea where you're going to go. No idea what you're going to do. You do not have any type of backup plan. But you can't do this for another day. And it was my best month ever. Not ever. But it was probably my best month I had of the year. Everything went right. I didn't have any issues pop up. I didn't have anybody who sells cars or anything like that. No, I didn't have a service issue pop up. I didn't have a rollback. There was not an issue with nothing went wrong that month. Still didn't make money, but Christmas that's a whole different thing. But for how that month worked and which you how you kind of want your month to progress. I had good customers the whole month. It was a pretty steady flow. I didn't really get stuck at work for 4 or 5 hours after my shift like usual. It was a pretty good, like, man, if every month could be like this would be nice. Problem is, every month ain't like that. Most of them aren't. The majority of them aren't. And that type of system just did not work for me. That was a kind of a fluke month, which was random. And like, that was just kind of my epiphany to myself personally. Like, you know what, Ryan? That's your cue. Sometimes you get a hard smack in the face and it hurts, and that's your cue to change your road. Sometimes you find a really nice, you're walking around, there's a really pretty flower, and that's your cue, the flower that comes out of the rough, so to speak, and so far everything has worked out personally better. I feel better, relationships better, family situations better. Now, it's not nowhere where we want it to be or anything, but all that initial pressure I had before to that is pretty much gone, And I forced that on myself for actually a few years, almost 4 years. I knew after about the first 2, I was like, yeah, this ain't for you, but you can make it work. And that was kind of what I did. I was chasing dollar signs, more or less. And yeah, it just kind of goes against you personally, kind of goes against your code, man. But you could take that pressure and make it work. And, sometimes you got to grind through it. But I could have done other things to get that same effect. So, that being said, understand when you're under pressure. Don't lie to yourself about how you handling your pressure. You're handling your pressure in a poor way, and you're not, but you tell yourself in the world you are, but you're not. Don't lie to yourself about that. Just handle it, get it done, get it over with. Faster you get it done, get it over with, faster the pressure will get off your back. A little longer than normal, babbled a little bit more, but if you watch the whole thing, appreciate you for hanging out for a couple extra minutes. Till next time, later.